Welcome back to Conversations with Manny. Today's food for thought: navigating our mind's tug of war. Now, our minds are like gardens, right? And it's filled with all kinds of plants. Some are beautiful flowers representing good habits, while others are stubborn weeds that symbolize bad habits and old prejudices. Now, just like a garden, our minds will reveal what's going on inside when the right conditions come along. If we want to change what we see in our mental garden, it only makes sense that we need to change how we tend to it. Now, think of it this way: when we perform an action, it's like planting a seed. That seed will grow into a habit. If we keep on watering that habit, it eventually blossoms into our character. And the character we develop ultimately shapes our future or our destiny. Now, habits start as a conscious choice in our minds. But with enough repetition, what they do is they sink down below the surface and become second nature. Almost like the roots of a tree that dig deep into the ground. Now, even though these habits may feel ingrained, we can still transform them by planting new, healthier habits that are stronger and more appealing. For example, if you have a habit of sleeping during the day, there's no judgment here. You can gradually shift by developing a new routine that encourages going to sleep earlier, right? Now, let's say you're drawing water from a well and you're using a bucket and a rope. Over time, that rope creates a groove in the brick wall, right? Making it easier for you to pull it up. Similar, our thoughts create pathways to our brain. And when we think in certain ways and we do this repeatedly, it forms grooves that our minds flow along easily. With daily practice, we can create a whole new set of grooves that lead us to different thoughts, lead us to different feelings and habits. But we shouldn't let ourselves get stuck in one way of thinking. See, when we encounter new, fresh ideas, it often feels scary at first, right? Like a surprise new story that catches us off guard. Our minds can be like trains running on rusty tracks, reluctant to change direction. Now, it's easy to cling to familiar thoughts, right? But when we try to introduce new ideas, our mind can and will resist, almost like a child throwing a tantrum. Now, to ease this transition, we can gently place new ideas alongside the old grooves in our minds. At first, there may be resistance, but with patience and practice, our minds can adapt and embrace these new ideas. Inside our minds, there's a constant tug of war happening, right? It's the battle between our natural inclinations and our willpower. Now, we often find ourselves wrestling with old habits. I know I do. And the desires to adapt new ones. Now, let's say you've decided to read more books instead of scrolling through social media or binge watching your favorite TV show. You know that reading can expand your mind, it can improve your focus, and even reduce stress. However, every evening when you sit down with a book, a battle starts to brew in your mind. Now, on one side, you have your natural inclination, which is all about comfort and instant gratification. It whispers to you, why not check your phone for a few minutes? You'll feel more relaxed, and it's so much easier than focusing on a book. Now, this side of you is used to quick entertainment and stimulation that comes from social media or TV. It's like that old friend that doesn't want to be left behind. On the other side is your willpower, right? Urging you to stick to your goal of reading more. It reminds you of the joy you feel when you get lost in a good story or learn something new from a nonfiction book. Your willpower might say, remember that thrilling plot twist you loved the last time? Dive into that book and lose yourself in it. As you sit there, you can't feel this tug of war. The urge to scroll through your social media is strong, and those old habits are fighting back, saying, hey, hold on. We've been your go to source of entertainment for ages. Why should we leave now? See, they want to keep their comfortable space in your routine. But what do you need to do? You need to stand firm. You take a deep breath, you set your phone aside, and you pick up your book instead. You remind yourself that it's okay to feel a little uncomfortable at first. Now, you might find it challenging to concentrate, but with each page you turn, you really begin to enjoy the experience more. And over time, as you continue to choose to read over scrolling, your willpower is strengthened. and the old habits of mindlessly browsing starts to lose its grip. You develop a new routine where reading becomes that enjoyable escape you look forward at the end of the day. Now, the internal struggle, it's really a common experience where we all feel it. But with determination and commitment to our goals, to your goals, we can empower ourselves to win the battle and cultivate new enriching habits that replace the old ones. Now, even if we stumble or face setbacks, right, it's important not to give up. Our willpower is like a muscle. It may get tired, but with consistent effort, it can grow stronger. If we keep on pushing forward, there's a good chance we'll eventually succeed in transforming our habits and our thoughts. Let's remember, persistence is key. Now, if you found value in this message, please subscribe, please like, comment, and most importantly, share. Help us get to 500 subscribers by January 1st. With that, have an amazing, amazing Winning Wednesday.